Laura, a former teacher, had recently decided to return to her career after years of dedicating herself to raising her two children, Emma and Liam. Her husband, David, a calm and steady business consultant, worked mostly from home. With the kids now starting elementary school, Laura needed time to attend a teacher training program. The couple agreed it was time to hire a housekeeper. David contacted a reputable agency, requesting someone experienced, reliable, and kind. No special demands, just a thorough background check. It seemed straightforward enough. 2 days later, the doorbell rang. David opened the door and froze. Standing before him was a young woman with gentle eyes, a warm smile, and a face identical to Laura's. He blinked, thinking it was a prank. But no, this wasn't Laura in a housekeeper's uniform. This was someone else entirely, yet eerily identical. Laura, hearing the doorbell, came downstairs and stopped dead in her tracks. Her heart pounded, her hand gripping the railing as if she might collapse. Emma and Liam, curious, ran to the door and gasped, "Mom!" Liam, clinging to Emma, whispered, "Why are there two moms?" The young woman's face paled, her eyes wide with panic, like a cornered animal. She stepped back, her voice trembling. I think there's been a mistake. I'm here for the housekeeping job, but—" She could barely finish her sentence. Laura couldn't tear her eyes away. This wasn't just a resemblance, it was a living mirror of herself. The same skin tone, the same dimpled smile, the same tiny scar on her chin that only Laura, David, and her bathroom mirror knew about. David, trying to stay composed, invited the woman inside, not because he wasn't unnerved, but because she seemed even more shaken than they were. She introduced herself as Sarah, 29 years old, per the agency's records. She'd grown up in a small town with a foster mother who had passed away, leaving her with no other family. Sarah was just as bewildered, having never encountered anything this strange in her previous jobs. David immediately called the agency. They confirmed Sarah was who she claimed to be, with no connection to their clients, and her background had been thoroughly vetted. No twin siblings, no recorded relatives, but Laura couldn't shake her unease. That night, neither she nor David could sleep. How could someone look so identical to her, down to every detail? Was this a scam? A secret David was hiding? Or something supernatural? Laura began digging into her past. She called her mother, Mary, who lived in a small town a few hours away. "Mom, is there any chance I had a twin?" Laura asked bluntly. Mary laughed, as if the idea were absurd. "Watching too many Hollywood movies, huh? Go to bed, sweetheart." But Laura wasn't convinced. She found an old baby photo, tucked away with a faded hospital bracelet. It didn't say Laura, it said Baby A. A small detail, but it sent a chill down her spine. Meanwhile, at home, Sarah unknowingly revealed another clue. A tiny crescent-shaped birthmark on her lower back, identical in shape and placement to Laura's. When Sarah showed it to her, the house fell silent. No one spoke. Only the sound of racing heartbeats filled the air. Something was deeply wrong. Laura couldn't focus on her training program. She also couldn't let Sarah near the kids, not out of malice, but from a nameless fear. She decided to visit her hometown, where Mary lived in a cozy house filled with memories. Mary greeted her with a warm hug, but Laura wasn't there for soup or nostalgia. She wanted answers. "Mom, I need the truth," Laura said firmly. "I met someone who looks exactly like me. Same scar, same birthmark. She's not my twin, is she?" Mary laughed again, but this time it was forced, masking something deeper. Laura slammed the hospital bracelet on the table. "This says Baby A. Was there another baby?" Silence enveloped the room. Mary looked away, her shoulders trembling, her eyes glistening with a pain Laura had never seen. Finally, she spoke, her voice choked with emotion. "You had a twin sister, Baby B. You two were identical, like two peas in a pod." Laura's legs gave out, and she sank into a chair, her breath ragged. "After you were born, I was exhausted. Your father died soon after. I had no money, no job, no one to help.
The hospital was hounding me for bills, threatening to take you both. A nurse came to me, said a wealthy woman was desperate to adopt. They promised to clear my debts and give me money if I agreed. I said no at first, but I had no choice, Laura. I thought you'd both have better lives, even if it meant being apart." Laura's throat tightened. "You sold my sister? I thought I was saving you both," Mary sobbed. "I told myself you'd both have better lives."
Laura returned home, carrying the weight of the truth. Sarah was sitting in the kitchen, her hands clasped tightly, her eyes lost. Laura sat across from her. "I talked to Mom," she said. "You're my twin sister. We were separated at birth." Sarah said nothing. A single tear rolled down her cheek. "I never knew I had a family," she whispered. Laura took her hand. "You do now, and I'm not letting you go again." Just then the doorbell rang. A delivery worker handed them a package. Inside was an envelope and a small gold plaque. The housekeeping agency was under investigation for identity fraud, and in the process, Sarah's name surfaced in a forgotten inheritance file. A former employer, a wealthy woman, had passed away and left Sarah a house and a small trust fund. From a housekeeper, Sarah now had a new future. The family broke down in tears, not from pain, but from the miracle of it all. Sarah chose to stay with Laura, David, and the kids, even though she now had her own home. "This is my home," she said. "I want to help you raise Emma and Liam like they're my own." In the months that followed, Laura and Sarah became inseparable. They cared for the kids together, started a small home bakery, and shared their story at church talks about forgiveness, identity, and the miraculous ways life brings people together. The initial fear turned to joy. The mystery became a miracle. What seemed like chance was fate. Life may tear you apart, but it always finds a way to bring you back, stronger than ever. Secrets hidden for decades will always find the light when the time is right.